Hi there, second graders. Let's begin lesson 6 of your geometry chapter. We're going to relate shapes and solids. What that means is we're going to relate 2D shapes to our 3D solid shapes. Let's turn our workbook page to 772. If you look on this page, you can see that the faces of three-dimensional shapes are two-dimensional shapes. So when you look at this cube right here, this cube has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different faces. Your helpful hint right here says a cube has 6 equal faces. These faces are squares. So when I zoom in on this part, I notice, so I'm going to put a little dot here, top and bottom, top, bottom. And then the front and the back, front and back. And then left side and right side, left side and right side. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces that make up this cube. So 6 square faces. Let's look at this first problem. It says to circle the shapes that make the three-dimensional shape. Now I'm looking at a rectangular prism. Does this rectangular prism have a square as a face? Yes, it does. It has on the top and the bottom. So we'll circle that square. Does it have a rectangle as a face? It does. It has the front and the back, the left side and the right side. So it does have a rectangle shape. Do you see any triangles in the rectangular prism? I do not. I'm going to cross that one off. Let's look next at a cylinder. Does a cylinder have a rectangle shape? Now most of you are going to say no, but if I cut this shape, if I cut it down the middle and open that up and laid it out, that would actually be a rectangle. Once I rolled it out and unfolded it. Do we have any circles? Any circles in this cylinder? I see a circle on top and I see a circle on bottom. So yes, we do. Are there any squares in that cylinder? I do not see any squares in that cylinder. We'll cross that off. Next shape, let's look at this triangular, or no, it's a square pyramid. How can I tell it's a square pyramid? On the bottom, the base is a square shaped. Oh, look at that. It tells me that it is made up of a square. Also, I can see that this square pyramid has 4 triangle sides. You have your left, your right, your front, and your back. So we are going to circle those 4 triangle shapes that make up that square pyramid. Explain how two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional shapes are related. Well, we can say that two-dimensional shapes are what make up a three-dimensional shape as their faces. Next, let's go on to page 773. See that on the bottom? 773. Let's take a peek here. The question is asking us to circle the shapes that make up the three-dimensional shape. Let's see, your turn. Look at that cube and which 2 shapes make up that cube. Is it a square, a circle, or a rectangle? Did you circle the square and the rectangle? I hope not. Tricked you. There are no rectangles in a cube They are all squares. So all 6 faces on there are square faces. So let's see who is watching this video. Number 5. What shape is that again? That's right, that's a square pyramid because it has a square for the base. In that square pyramid, which 2D shapes, a triangle, circle, or square, are going to make up that square pyramid? Did you circle the triangle and the square? Nice job. Number 6 and 7, it says circle the shapes that make up the faces. So this time we're looking at 1, 2 squares and 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. Which of these shapes over here have 2 square faces and 4 rectangle faces? Well, we know it's not the pyramid because the pyramid has the triangles for faces. It's not a cube because a cube has all 6 square faces. Is it the rectangular prism? It is. The 2 ends have your squares and the other 4 faces have your 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. How about number 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Does a cube have 6 squares for faces? A square pyramid or a rectangular prism? Circle your answer. Did you circle the cube? Nice job. It's not the square pyramid that has triangles for faces, and the rectangular prism has rectangles in it with the squares for faces. Number 8, which of these shapes does not have a square as one of its faces? Does this rectangular prism? It does. The top and the bottom are square faces. Is it the cube? The cube also has square faces. Does a cylinder have any square faces? It does not. Does not have a square face. Does the square pyramid have a square face? It does. That base on the bottom is a square. So the only shape is it would be your cylinder that does not have a square as one of its faces. Next, let's turn to page 774 and look at the story problems. I'm going to zoom in on this one. All right. On this problem, let's underline. It says, I have 6 equal faces. I have 8 vertices. What shape am I? So what shape has 6, important word here, 6 equal faces? What shape did you write? Did you write a cube? Nice job. So your cube, if you look at a cube and you stretch out and you connect those, and then you got 1 in there. I'm going to count my vertices. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then your faces, we have 6 equal faces. So our cube is the shape. Let's look at number 10. Let's underline, I have no faces and no vertices. Ooh, what shape am I this time? Which one has no faces? So that would be no 2D shapes for faces and no vertices. No flat faces, no vertices. Did you say a sphere? Nice job, and draw your sphere. Oh, it's just going to be a big circle, a big ball. Number 11, Allison wants to trace a circle. Which objects could she use? We're going to circle those objects. Can you use this milk container to trace a circle? Nope. How about this ribbon? This container of ribbon. Yes, that one. You could trace that bottom, on the bottom if you look at that, and get a circle. How about this can of cinnamon? Nope, that has a rectangle for its base and rectangle side, so that won't work. How about this can of, it looks like albacore tuna? Can you trace a circle with that one? Yes, you can. You have that circle there. All right. The right math, describe the faces that make a pyramid. Think of a square pyramid. So you have your square for your base. Whoops. Let me go back once. Square. And there's only one of those. And if you have your square, we draw a square. And then we bring those up to the top. How many triangles do we have there? That's right, we have 4 triangles. All right, now it's your turn. On your homework pages, if you listen carefully, look at your faces that make up this rectangular prism. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles, your front, back, left side, and right side. And then you have 1, 2 squares. Your top and your bottom make up your squares. So your helpful hint there, read that over. And then your turn. You're going to circle the shapes. As you can see, there's more than one that make the 3-dimensional shapes. So look at your rectangular prism. And is there a square? I mean a rectangle, a square, or a triangle in that rectangular prism? Number 2, cube. Is there a square, triangle, or rectangle in that shape? In that solid? In this square pyramid, is there a, I'm thinking that one's a rectangle, looks pretty rectangle shaped, a triangle, or a square? Circle the shapes that match that one. And on the back side, circle the shape made by the faces. So we're looking at these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles and a square. Circle the cone, the rectangular prism, or the pyramid that is made from those shapes. And then what is made from these shapes? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles and 2 squares. Does that make a cube? Does it make a rectangular prism? Or does it make a pyramid? And then for number 6, listen carefully. If you put these shapes together, what 3-dimensional shape could you make? Write the name of the shape right there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Put those together. What solid shape or 3D figure does that make? And then on the bottom, identify the shape that does not belong. Look at those carefully. Which one does not belong? Shade your answer. When you are done, you will turn in page 775 and 776 to Seesaw today. And then you will work on U5 and U6 in IXL Math. Let's see how you do.